going to start out with a crust that's made from scratch. And you might feel intimidated about it, but this, I promise you, is the easiest crust you will ever make. And your kids could probably get in there and do it with you. It is so easy. It's almost like making Play-Doh. Now this recipe comes out of one of my favorite recipe books. And this one I got when my sister-in-law's husband, her ex-husband, was a police officer in San Angelo. And so they did this book, the San Angelo Police Spouse Association, so that they could raise money and had the spouses send in their favorite recipes. I have a bunch of favorites in here. This was a really good bargain back in the day. The one I'm going to make today is this modern pie crust. I don't know if y'all can see that. It may be blurry. But it was sent in by Kim Massey. And she has several in here that I love a lot. She's a good cook, let me tell you that. So I'm just going to get y'all moved down here so that you can see what I'm doing. You don't need to see my face for this. So hang on just a second. Okay, so I have me a 9.5-inch pie plate here. And we're going to start out with 1.5 cups of flour. And this is just regular all-purpose flour. I'm just going to dump that right into my pie plate. Then I'm going to put, it calls for 1 tablespoon of sugar. I do a heaping tablespoon of sugar. Just pour that in there. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, make sure your hands are all clean. It's easier if you just use your hands on this. I'll use my fork in just a second when I'm beating in everything else. But for now, just mix it up. Make sure you get all that salt and sugar mixed up in that flour. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of bring it up like this and make a little hole in the middle. Okay, next I'm going to use 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. It's just regular vegetable oil. I'm going to pour that in this little hole. It's going to go out the side. That's okay. We're going to mix it all up in a second. And then it calls for 1/4 cup of milk. Sometimes you don't need all of that milk. It depends on if it's humid outside or not, on how much you're going to need. So don't pour the whole 1/4 cup of milk in there. Save some back just in case. So I'm just going to leave just a little bit in there. I may end up coming back and using it. It just depends. Then you're just going to use your fork and get this all mixed up. You notice I did not even grease this pie plate or anything because it already has all of that oil in there. So you don't have to. This would be really fun to get your kids in there and let them do this with you. I believe I will need some more of that milk. Let's go ahead and pour some more in there. A little bit at a time. You don't want to go too much. If you do, you can always add a little bit more flour, but scrape all those edges. Now, let me see. I think it's pretty close. Because you don't want it too sticky, but you want it to where you can work with it. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So I'm just going to go around the edges here and pick up all this extra and off the bottom. See there how clean my plate is getting? All right, Now I'm just going to kind of mix it up a little together like this. Fold it a couple of times like that. And then I'm just going to go pushing it down in here and form it around into my pie plate. Your fist is the best thing to do this with. You have to work it out to the edges so you can get some up on the sides and make you a pretty scalloped edge. In a second, I'm going to grab one of my measuring cups, and you can use that to finish it up, to get it all smoothed out down there. And then on the edges, just kind of make a little edge like this. I wish I had me one of those nice stoneware ones. It actually does this fluting part for you on the sides. You don't even have to do any of that. I just put my finger up against the edge. I'll turn this way a little bit and push into my finger. That's how I do that. And it just kind of makes that little fluted top on there. So our pie crust is ready to go.